live from Hollywood, Florida. It may be morning, midday, evening, depending on where you're located. I'm coming to you tonight. Um, to welcome you to As Life Turns podcast with Cynthia Bell, and other than myself. And I want to come to you tonight to talk about um, our wellness, our holiday and wellness checkup. I was enlightened today of a celebrity that committed suicide, and his name was is Twitch. And during the time when I retired in 2019, I watched the Ellen Show at 3 o'clock every day, almost every day, and I was enlightened by his smile and all of that. So I come to you tonight to talk about doing a holiday wellness checkup. When we're not feeling well or something's going on with our bodies, we go to the doctor for a checkup and we do labs and tests and so forth. It's the same thing with our mental health. You oftentimes during this time of the holiday, you people they're alone, they're lonely, they're depressed, they have anxiety, they may not have family members. There's divorce going on. People are diagnosed with different illnesses. There's breakups, whatever it may be going on in someone's life. Sometimes they're not always able to talk to someone or consult with someone, afraid that whatever they're going through is going to be just blown out of proportion instead of rendering help to them. So living life to the fullest is a must. I know the last couple of weeks, the last couple of podcasts, we were talking about living your best life, self-image. All of that, it has a dynamic, it is a dynamic for our mental health. And we can't uh, assume that everyone knows God, everyone has a relationship with God, but we can't extend ourselves. If a person comes to us or we know that they may be in a situation, health, breakup, divorce, marriage, however, they may need someone to talk to. So tonight we're going to talk about um, doing that checkup, doing that wellness, doing the holiday checkup. Christmas is upon us. Um, um, Next week, and there's so many things that's going on in our society today. So I won't hold you long, but I want to come to you and just talk briefly what we can do as people, in reference to knowing that someone may be going through a difficult situation. um, Inviting that person, letting them feel that they are comfortable, they can come to us and talk to us and not be afraid that whatever we're going to discuss with them will be all over the internet or over Facebook or wherever. There's many scriptures. Those of us who know God, have a relationship with God, there are many scriptures that talks about self-care. Self-care is very important because as I look back on the young man Twitch, he was 40. He's 40 years old. His smile was just remarkable. And you can't always go by a person's smile because a lot of times we learn as little kids how to hide behind the tears. We learn how to hide behind the smiles. So I believe that it's time out for that. It's time out, everyone. So as we are in the holiday season, 2023 is upon us. And this is a time when so many people, they have so many things going on in their lives. And what do we do as a person? What do we do as a family member? Oftentimes, our family members, they won't come to another family member. They rather go to someone else. And a lot of times as family members, we see things that are not normal or abnormal, and we don't talk about it, we don't address it. And then when we hear of a situation has happened, a tragedy, then we'd be like, oh, well, I knew that. I felt that. But that's not good enough anymore. We have to take the time out to reach out to people. I'm not a licensed mental health person, but I do know God. I am a human being, and have had life trials and tribulations, and I know for a fact that I have to call on God. And I have to, I've had to confide in some people about situations upon my life. And but if a person is in distress, if they're having a mental breakdown, it, it's important that we refer them to a mental health therapist, someone who's licensed to handle that. There's nothing wrong with that. We give referrals all the time. We go to a restaurant and the food is great. The food is fantastic. And we word of mouth, oh, I went to such and such restaurant. The food was excellent. It's the same thing with mental health. It's the same thing with the doctor. You went to this doctor. You felt good about that doctor. You refer. It's the same thing with people. Refer that person to a mental health specialist. Refer that person to a licensed mental health therapist who can help them. So I won't hold you long, but I just wanted to take some time out and address wellness checkup. Now, most of you, well, some of you may not know, I'm the owner of Cynthia's Wellness Products. I do immunity drinks. I do the sea moss. I have a skincare line that I'm promoting, and all those things. The skincare lines is external. Of course, the immunity drinks and the sea moss are things that internally they help us to build our immunity system. So how do we build our mental immunity? That's what I want to talk about tonight. How do we do that? What are some things that we can do to tap into that person who may be lonely? What do we do to tap into that person that may be having anxiety or having a mental breakdown? Okay, how do we help that person? Do we talk about that person? Do we go to them and say, look, listen, I think maybe that you need to see someone. I think maybe you need to seek counsel. And it's okay. And if that person rejects it and they move away from it, well, you've done what you were supposed to do as as a human being, as someone who cares about other people. Oftentimes in our families, there's so much going on. And I speak in the first person. I love to speak in the first person because I know about me. I'm in a situation now that I'm dealing with a parent, my mom, and we're having the family have to make some decisions. Does it feel good? Absolutely not. It really doesn't. Because none of us growing up with our parents, we saw our parents as vibrant human beings, and now they're older now, and the health is failing, and things are happening, and so forth, and it's just a lot going on. So I know what it's feel like to be under stress. I know what it's like. There's some stresses that I don't know about, but I can tell you I can relate to the ones that I deal with every day. So I wanted to, as Life Turns podcast, and I said it before in the beginning of the podcast when I first started, is that life turns every day. It turns every day. Today is this way, tomorrow is the next way. So we have to adjust. Learning to adjust is something that we have to deal with. If we don't adjust to the changes of life, especially self-care and our mental health, that we get stuck. And what can we do when we get stuck? Living life to the fullest is a must. We all have something to live for. And we all have something to live for. It's not about our degrees. It's not about all the accomplishments. It's not about our resume. Because at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, those things look good on the obituary. They really do. And I've gone to a couple of funerals that it has a whole row. And even the young man Twitch, he has a whole D-Day Twitch. He has a list of things that he's done. But was he happy? It doesn't mean anything. What means something is that you're okay with yourself. If you're okay with yourself, then others are okay. But we have to learn how to put ourselves first. And I'm always, always, always saying, look out for yourself. It's not about your spouse. It's not about your children. It's not about people, places, or things. It's about you. It's about Cynthia. It's about who you are. What do you want in life? What makes you happy? Having that gorgeous $1 million smile projecting out outward. And knowing that you're broken down inside, it means absolutely nothing. Because what it says is that you have great showmanship. At the end of the day, who in the hell want great showmanship? We want to be content in our lives. So tonight, holiday and wellness checkup. Go see someone. If you're in a crisis, if you're dealing with something, go see someone. Go talk to someone. Okay? It's very vital to us. Um, Life Turns Podcast is a podcast. It's no fame, no fortune. It's just me coming on and talking about life changes. That's all it is. And I'm the first person to say that it's an everyday thing. It's a changing environment. Just for namesake, during the time that I was going through different trials and tribulations, the 23rd Psalm is a very powerful psalm. And everybody, we can't take for granted that everybody know the 23rd Psalm. We can't take for granted that everybody know any psalm. But what we can do, we can volunteer. We can advise them. We can tell them about the 23rd Psalm when it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I should not want. Okay, we can do that. He leads me beside the still waters, and he restored my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Okay, we can do that. All right, he goes before us. He's our adversary at all times. God is. And again, we cannot take for granted that everybody know God. So those of us who are spiritual, we have an obligation. We have obligation to seek out and ask God for discernment when we come across those situations. And again, I won't hold you long, but as we are in this season, let's not get stuck on gifts and things and going to different places, being with our families, asking our family member, are you okay? Are you okay mentally? Are you okay? It's okay to do that. We have to do that. And if that person says, well, you know what, I'm okay, then we as a person, we have to, they're adults. We have to take what they tell us. Now, if they tell us that they're not okay, then that's when we say, you know what, there's referral. You need to go see this person. Why not call this number? Why not do this? We have obligation to do that, especially for those who are spiritual. I've learned through my years being a Christian that everybody who goes to church, who's in church 24/7, no, I was fooled by that for a long time. But then I was awakened. I learned that that's not the case. So we have to ask God for discernment. So tonight's topic, holiday and wellness checkup. Check yourself out. Okay. Check out a family member. Don't be afraid. If they reject it, just move on. But at least if anything come down that you addressed it with them so that your conscience is clear. Okay. Um, Another thing is that uh, gifts. Okay, gifts are great. I'm the first person. I love jewelry. Oh, if it shine, if it twinkle, I like it. Um, we all love gifts, but the season is not about the gifts. It's about loving one another. It's about respecting one another. This is not a lecture. This is not a preaching. It's not a teaching. It's just simply talking and saying what I've learned through these 60 plus years on this earth is that those things are not important. They feel good and they look good. But if it's not internal, it's a waste of time. Living life to the fullest is a must. We all have something to live for. Also, just knowing that someone loves us unconditional is more important than anything. It's more important than anything on this earth. Being around people who are like-minded. You know, I was speaking to one of my daughters today, and we were discussing the situation with Twitch. What happened and what we heard about it. And she said, she goes, Mom, our brain is like a garden. We plant seeds in a garden. And when we plant seeds, we have to be able to water that garden. And to water that garden is that we have to put positive thoughts, positive seeds in that garden. If we don't do that, then that flesh self, when things not may not be going as expected, well, you can't do this, you're not that person, you're this, you're that, you're ugly, you're fat, you're skinny, you don't know nothing. We can't allow that to happen. So we have to really, 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 really be inclined to planting positive seeds in our garden. Our mind is a garden. And when we harvest the garden, we're harvesting life, living it to the fullest. So as I said before, I didn't want to hold you long. I know that a lot of people, this is the holiday time, a lot of people are doing many things. They're out shopping and they're doing all this stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that. But when I look around and I see things happening with people that I know, family members who are just, it's like sitting on a railroad track waiting for the train to come. And no one, we all see you sitting on the track, but no one has integrity and the withal to go and say, get off the track. Oftentimes growing up, we would hear our parents say, if such and such fall off a ledge, you're going to fall off too. Well, you know what? That has some validity. Once you've addressed that situation, somebody says, you know what, I want to fall off the ledge. You know what, Sally, that's not a good idea to fall off that ledge. Okay. Remember, whatever we do, circumstances bring on consequences and so forth. Okay. We have to be mindful that everybody doesn't always have the same integrity as another. But we have to ask God for discernment. And I use that word a lot, discernment, because I I ask God all the time for discernment. And I God has put me in a space where I needed that time alone to filter myself with the positiveness, the goodness, to get ready to harvest my garden. So the holiday time, the reason for the season, it's not about the gifts. It really isn't. Love on your family. Love on your friends. Love on like-minded people, okay, who who respect you, who honor you. It again, it cannot be It cannot be. It's great that those people love on us and we love them back, but we must love ourselves. And I've been on this self-image and this living our best life for a while now. And we're going to end it with 2022. Okay, on the next podcast, which will be the fourth Wednesday of this month, and we're going to start a brand new in 2023. But I wanted to come to you tonight because I came to you with a heavy heart because there's so much there's so much turmoil in the land. And this is a festive time. This is a festive time. Okay? And being with family, being with friends, and the simple things in life, loving on you. I can't stress stress that enough. Loving on you. Okay? So if you take nothing else away from this podcast, this broadcast tonight, remember that God loves you. You love yourself. It cannot be about anyone else. It has to be about you loving yourself. You making that decision that you're going to take care of yourself. You're going to be the best person for yourself, in yourself, with yourself, to yourself. Holiday and wellness checkup. It's okay. It's okay. It really is okay You go to the doctor to do your mental health checkup. Check yourself out. Start journaling. If things are not right with you, if you feel a certain way, write it down and make it plain and act on it. And act on it. Because at the end of the day, it's going to affect your life, not your wife, not your children, not your parents. It's going to affect your life. But I want to give you just a little tidbits here in reference to doing the mental health checkup. So there are some things that we can do for a mental health checkup, and that is, excuse me, and that is take some time out for yourself. Take some time out for yourself. Jesus took time out. He took time out and he rested to gather his thoughts. We can do that. We can do that. Settle down. Okay? What motivates you in your life? What motivates you? Okay? Think about it. Helping someone. Helping someone. The greatest gift that we can give a person is to help them, to help that senior citizen, to help that young kid who may need help in math or math or English or whatever subject that they have problems with. Okay, helping someone, helping that neighbor take out their garbage, an elderly person who you know can't walk or who have trouble walking, doing simple things like that. Okay, those are things that helping us living our life to the fullest because we're helping someone. Um, God gave his only son, his only begotten son, his only begotten son. So are we more or less than that? We have to we should step out of our comfort zone and help someone. In reference to the mental health, I took the liberty of just jotting down some things in reference to mental health, and there's quite a few information out there. Um, Self care helps to meet your health and wellness needs, but you can also meet your spiritual needs. Self care helps to meet your health and wellness needs, but you can also meet your spiritual needs with your self care. The best part of self care can be honoring our Lord God who made us in his image. Again, I don't want to, I won't hold you long. Parents have a special and more consuming caregiving needs. As I said before, with my parent, my mom. But you know what? She's still here, and I'm still here. And again, is she okay? I'm okay. Take the time out to ask someone if they're okay. You're not alone. You're not alone. You're not alone. Don't ever think that you are alone because you're not. And it's okay to share. And I say that all the time during the broadcast. It's okay to share, not to put your business in the street, but it's okay to share. To share. Talk to someone. Are you okay? Do you need to go and get a checkup? Do you need to make a checklist of things that perhaps that you need to check on, that you need to talk about? If I sound redundant, so what? Because my heart was my heart, it was heavy today. Because when I look at a 40-year-old person who has so much going for them, beautiful smile, so talented, but what was going on inside? What was happening? Living our best life. When to reach out and allow someone to touch you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. I'm going to say that again. Living, when to reach out, when to reach out and allow someone to touch you mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. My motto with my company is wellness is a choice and essential to our mind, body, and soul. That's nothing to play with. Not at all. Living life to the fullest. Holiday and wellness checkup. Check yourself out. Okay? Check yourself out. So, again, I'm Cynthia Bell, and the podcast that I have is Life Turns. It's simply a reminder that every day there's something different. Every day there's something new. But what doesn't change is who we are inside. Who do we think we are? Who do we believe we are? We have to focus on who do we believe we are. It's not about our success. It's not about the job that we have. Because at the end of the day and the beginning of the day, if that is taken away from us, do we falter in a relationship? If that relationship is taken away, do we falter or do we get up? When we fall down, do we get up or do we stay? And we become a hindrance to ourselves. Think about it. The reason for the season, let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate that Christ the Lord was born. That he's alive every day in our lives. Even for those people who have no clue who he is and perhaps don't want to know who he is. But God gives us that discernment to tap into those individuals. It's our responsibility. On my wall here, I have believe. Believe, 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 believe. Believe, believe, believe. You have to believe in yourself. You have to. No one else is going to do it but you. But you. So I challenge you for 2023 to live your life to the fullest. Okay? I challenge you to reach out and allow someone to touch you mentally, emotionally, and physically. And be reminded that wellness is a choice and it's essential to our body, to our mind, body, and our soul. Okay? We started this podcast at 8 o'clock tonight, and we're almost done. But I want to come and share on how important it is to do a holiday and a wellness checkup. It's not about the gifts. It's about your wellness, your mental health, your physical health, your emotional health, your spiritual health. Those are the things that are important. The reason for the season is what I wanted to share. But I also want to share, 2 weeks ago, I took it upon myself and I did the haircut. I'm deviating a little bit. I cut all my hair off and I started anew. I wanted a change for 2023. I wanted a change. And you should want to change, not drastic as I did, but you should want to change in reference to your wellness checkup for 2023. Check yourself out. Check yourself in if you have to with a licensed mental health therapist. Okay? Remember, Cynthia Bell loves you. I only want the best for everyone. even for those people who have tried to sabotage, and that's a different theme, a different topic. But I leave you with this. Go ahead, ask a family member, ask your spouse, ask your children, ask your parents, ask your neighbor, ask your friend, even ask your enemy. Now that's guts. Are you okay? Are you okay? The reason for the season to celebrate is being content as to who you are, wanting to do better, loving yourself and caring for yourself no matter what. Okay? So, with that said, I'm going to end this podcast. I look forward to seeing you again on the fourth Wednesday of this month as we end 2022 and we start afresh for 2023 on some real good topics that I believe is going to help us to become better persons. It's helping me. It's helping me already. The things that we've talked about so far, it's helping me 100-fold. Okay? And I hope that we can help you too. So, with that said, we'll see you again on the fourth, the second, and fourth Wednesday of the month. Okay? You have a great holiday. You love on your family, but you love on yourself. Do that wellness checkup. All right? I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.